Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. The Canada Revenue Agency and Mark Carney have just shaken up the national conversation on retirement security. In a groundbreaking joint announcement, the CRA and former Bank of Canada Governor Mark Carney unveiled a $600 monthly increase to old age security payments. This major policy shift is designed to address growing concerns over senior poverty, inflation, and economic inequality in Canada. And for millions of older Canadians, this isn't just another bureaucratic update. It could be a financial lifeline. Now, let's break down exactly what was announced, what it means for current and future seniors, and why Mark Carney, who's long been considered a likely future Prime Minister, is now playing such a central role in shaping the financial well-being of retirees. If you're retired, approaching retirement, or simply care about the future of pension policy in Canada, this is news you need to hear. The announcement came earlier this week during a press conference held in Ottawa, where Carney stood alongside top CRA officials and federal policymakers. Carney, who has spent years in top global financial roles including at the Bank of England and the United Nations, delivered a powerful message. It's time we invest more directly in the dignity and economic stability of our elders. This $600 monthly enhancement to old age security is long overdue, and it's just the beginning. That statement sent shockwaves across the financial, political, and public sectors. For context, the Old Age Security OAS program currently provides a basic monthly payment to seniors aged 65 and over. As of 2025, the maximum monthly OAS amount for seniors aged 65 to 74 is about $713.34, while those over 75 receive a bit more. The new policy would push those monthly payments to over $1,300, nearly doubling the existing amount. This would represent the largest single increase to OAS in Canadian history. So what's driving this massive increase? First, inflation. Over the past few years, seniors have been hit hard by rising prices, from groceries and rent to medication and transportation. While the CRA indexes OAS to inflation every quarter, those adjustments often lag behind the real cost increases that retirees face on a daily basis. The proposed $600 monthly boost is designed to close that gap and give seniors real, immediate relief. But it's not just about inflation. It's also about fairness. Carney pointed out that while Canada has many programs aimed at supporting families, workers, and children, seniors have often been treated as an afterthought in major economic policies. They built this country, he said. They paid into the system for decades. They deserve better. The funding for this OAS increase is expected to come from a reallocation of existing federal revenue and a proposed financial transaction tax that would apply to large institutional trades, a tax aimed primarily at banks and hedge funds, not average Canadians. The proposal is already sparking debate in Parliament, but early polls suggest strong public support. In fact, a recent Angus Reid survey showed that 72% of Canadians agree the government should do more to support seniors financially. Let's talk about eligibility, because this part has generated a lot of questions. According to the CRA's preliminary guidelines, the new OAS boost would be available to all seniors currently receiving old age security. That includes both those aged 65 to 74 and those over 75. The amount would not be income tested, which means even middle-income and higher-income seniors would receive it, just like regular OAS payments. However, seniors who fall into the OAS clawback range, that is, those earning more than about $90,000 annually, might still see some reduction due to the existing recovery tax. Another important point: this is not a one-time payment. It's a permanent monthly increase. If the legislation passes, and it's expected to move quickly through Parliament, seniors could begin receiving the enhanced payments as early as October 2025. That's just 6 months away. Now, let's take a moment to talk about Mark Carney's surprising role in all of this. As a former governor of both the Bank of Canada and the Bank of England, Carney has long been a respected voice in global financial circles. In recent years, he's taken on more of a public-facing role in Canada, with increasing speculation that he may eventually run for political office. His involvement in this policy announcement is being interpreted by many insiders as a signal of deeper political ambitions. Carney framed the OAS enhancement not just as economic policy, but as a moral obligation. In every society, how we treat our elders reflects who we are, he said. This policy is about dignity. It's about justice. And it's about correcting decades of underinvestment in senior well-being. Reactions have been pouring in from across the country. Senior advocacy groups like CARP and the National Pensioners Federation have enthusiastically endorsed the move, calling it transformative and a long overdue recognition of the financial challenges faced by aging Canadians. Some even compared it to the introduction of Medicare in terms of its potential legacy. But not everyone is thrilled. Some fiscal conservatives have raised concerns about the cost of the program, estimated to be about $18 billion per year once fully implemented. Critics argue that Canada's aging population is already straining public finances, and that adding to the OAS burden could worsen the national debt. Others worry that a non-means-tested approach could send unnecessary payments to wealthier seniors. Carney and the CRA have countered these criticisms by pointing to the economic stimulus effect of putting money directly into the hands of seniors, who tend to spend rather than save. This isn't just a cost, it's an investment in local economies, Carney noted. When seniors can afford groceries, prescriptions, and housing, they support jobs and businesses in every community. Economists are also weighing in. Several leading analysts have noted that Canada's overall pension system, including CPP, OAS, and GIS, remains more sustainable than many other OECD countries. They argue that a modest increase in wealth taxes or financial transaction levies could easily offset the cost of enhanced OAS without hurting the broader economy. One particularly interesting detail: the CRA plans to roll out the enhanced OAS payments using a phased approach. The first group to receive the full $600 boost will be seniors over age 75, followed by those 70 to 74, and then finally those 65 to 69. The entire rollout is expected to take about 12 months, with all recipients receiving the full amount by the end of 2026. So, what does this mean for you or the seniors in your life? Well, for a retired couple both receiving OAS, this could mean an extra $1,200 per month, nearly $15,000 per year. That's enough to completely change the financial outlook for many seniors, potentially lifting thousands out of poverty and allowing others to age at home with more independence. It also sends a broader signal that Canada is rethinking its social contract with seniors. For too long, older Canadians have watched housing prices skyrocket while their fixed incomes remained relatively stagnant. They've seen the costs of aging, from home care to prescription drugs, rise faster than their benefits. This new policy begins to address that imbalance. There's also a political calculation here. With a federal election on the horizon and seniors representing one of the most reliable voting blocs in Canada, the timing of this announcement is no coincidence. Political strategists believe the policy could reshape the electoral map, especially in swing ridings with high numbers of retirees. Still, many questions remain. Will the proposed financial transaction tax pass Parliament? Will the CRA be able to efficiently implement such a major change to benefit disbursement systems? And could this open the door to even more expensive senior benefits in the future, like universal dental or pharmacare for older Canadians? Mark Carney hinted that this might just be the beginning. In an interview following the announcement, he said, "We need a comprehensive rethink of how we support aging in Canada. This OAS increase is the first step, but not the last." That comment has sparked speculation about a broader senior prosperity strategy that could include expansions to the Guaranteed Income Supplement, more funding for long-term care, and new programs to help seniors stay in their homes longer. Already, think tanks and advocacy groups are drawing up proposals for what those next steps could look like. But for now, the focus is on getting the $600 monthly OAS increase passed and implemented. Supporters say it's a matter of urgency. "Every month we delay," said one advocate, "is another month that seniors have to choose between heating their homes and buying groceries." In the coming weeks, expect to see more debate in Parliament, more details from the CRA about timelines and implementation, and more public pressure from both seniors and their families to get this done. First, if you're a senior or approaching retirement age, make sure your My CRA account is up to date. That's where you'll likely see the first notifications about changes to your OAS payments. Also, stay alert to official updates from the CRA and not just social media rumors, as misinformation often circulates around major benefit changes. Second, consider contacting your Member of Parliament. Let them know where you stand on the issue. The more voices speak up in support, the faster Parliament is likely to act. Third, if you're not yet a senior but have parents or grandparents who are, talk to them about this. Help them understand what's changing, and make sure they're aware of their potential new income. It could significantly affect their budgeting, planning, or even eligibility for other benefits. And finally, remember this. The fight for economic dignity in retirement is far from over. But today's announcement marks a major milestone. With the CRA and Mark Carney leading the charge, the conversation about retirement in Canada is changing, and for the better. So stay tuned, stay informed, and let's keep pushing for a Canada where every senior can retire not just with survival, but with security, comfort, and respect.